Well, it's game day and you want snacks. You want to feed everybody and still be able to watch the game and not spend the day in the kitchen. What are you going to do? Let me help you make it easy. All right, so I've got a few easy snacks that will keep you in the game and out of the kitchen all day, but still be able to have a spread for your tailgating party or whatever. Keep it simple. You don't have to make every single thing from scratch, but you can still make some awesome things and be able to enjoy the game as well. So I picked up a couple of, this is a buffalo chicken flatbread. You can grab these at Walmart. I think Sam's has them, Publix has them. And I picked up just a pepperoni deli pizza. This is a giant pizza, and we're actually going to cook this and then cut it like into little squares. So obviously that's self-explanatory how to make a pizza. You follow the directions on the box. I'm going to move them aside so we can talk about some of these other things. I picked up some grapes. We're just going to wash these and set them out. Easy peasy. Then got a variety of cheeses and lunch meats and some fresh baked sub rolls. Picked these up at Walmart. Publix has them as well. And I'm just gonna make some hoagies and then slice those up into small little pieces, and then people can grab those as finger foods. And then last but not least, some chili cheese dip. Super easy. It's 3 ingredients: cream cheese, a can of no bean chili, and some cheddar, already shredded cheddar. We're gonna put that in a bowl, we're gonna bake it, and it's gonna be the best dip ever. Serve it up with your favorite chips. I grabbed some Tostitos, you could use Fritos or whatever, and bake it, and it's done. Let's get going. All right, let's get started with our chili cheese dip, because that actually has to bake in the oven, and then we'll get to some of the other stuff. So this is super easy. Like I said, all you need is 3 ingredients for this. We're gonna start with some room temp cream cheese. I have Philly here. You can totally use store brand. You can use the less fat, low fat cream cheese. You can use the full fat, whatever you want to do. But we're going to use the full fat Philly cream cheese. All right. All I have done here is dump it into an 8x8 baking dish, and then I'm going to take a spoon and spread that out into the bottom of the pan until it is evenly spread across the bottom. Nothing fancy, nothing special. It's going to be a thin layer of cream cheese on the bottom. And the reason you want this at room temp is for ease of spreading. If you forgot to take your cream cheese out and it wasn't at room temp, it's not the end of the world. It's just going to require a little more elbow grease to get it in there. All right, so that is it with that. Super easy. Might be hard to tell since this is a white baking dish, but it's just spread across the bottom. Then I'm going to take my can of chili. I've got the Hormel with no beans. You could totally do beans if you wanted to. But for this, I just have always done no beans. I've also always used Hormel, but I imagine you could use whatever kind of chili you wanted to. I'm just going to dump that can in there, and then same spoon. Why dirty up anything else to have to wash, right? We're trying to keep this simple so that you can spend as much time watching the game as possible. All right, so I have evenly spread my chili over top of cream cheese. That's that for step 2. So easy. There you go. Now I'm going to take my cheese. You can use whatever kind of cheese you want. I'm going with cheddar for this. And you need about 8 ounces. This is a 16-ounce bag, so I'm going to do half of this bag. And you're just going to, same thing, spread this evenly on as the next layer, right over top of the chili. And that, my friends, is it. You will pop this into a 350-degree oven for about 25 minutes, 30 minutes maybe, just until everything is nice and melted. You'll see it start to bubble and that cheese will be melted. It'll be yummy, delicious. And then you can just set this out with a bag of your favorite chips and scoop and enjoy. So that's it for the chili cheese dip. See how easy that was? Now let's move on to making some sandwiches. All right, so we have our chili cheese dip made. Now I'm going to move on to making our sandwiches. And I've just got some fresh hoagie rolls here. These are not sliced, so you're going to need a good serrated edge knife. I'm just going to use 3 of these. And I pulled out some meats and cheeses, but let's get our bread sliced up. Now I'm going to go ahead and slice them all the way through. So not leaving that edge where you fold it like this, but actually slicing all the way through the sandwiches, the hoagie rolls. If you're lucky enough that you can catch the lady in the bakery as she's bringing them out, which is what I happen to do today, then you will have some seriously fresh bread. That's not always the case at my local Walmart. In fact, more times than not, they don't have them in stock. So I just happened to catch her today. So these are super nice and fresh. I'm going to start with some provolone. And it's the right size for that bun. Some of these buns are more narrow, so I'm going to cut for some of them. This is still the provolone. I just had to open another pack. And actually, that was from Publix. This is from Walmart, and it's a little narrower, so that worked out good. All right, so a couple pieces of provolone. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of Italian seasoning. I'm actually going to put it on both sides on top of that cheese and on the other side of the bare bread. And honestly, you can do this in whatever order you want. It's all going to get in there, right? On top of the provolone, I am going to put some salami. This is hard salami. You could use Genoa salami if you wanted, or whatever. We're going with the hard salami for this one. And I'm actually going to fold it in half. And it's going to unfold itself. Let's try that again. So it'll take about 4 pieces per sandwich, and we'll put that right on top of the provolone. Now we are going to take our mozzarella. I said that like I was Italian or something. It's mozzarella. You knew. All right. Now this is definitely wider than the sandwich, so I take it and cut it in half, or you can fold it in half, or you can do whatever you want to do. You can break it, and then I just kind of lay it in a diagonal. Let's cut it. Make it a little bit easier. So that takes 3 pieces-ish per sandwich. And then this bigger sandwich will take 4 pieces, so that's actually 2 slices of cheese. Beautiful. Somebody's over here eyeballing these sandwiches. This is his favorite. Y'all probably can't see him, but I have a watcher. Sandwich watcher. All right. Next is my favorite. The provolone. Yeah, it's my favorite. The pepperoni that doesn't want to open. Why won't this open? Okay, there it goes. And I'm just going to kind of overlap it some. This is pretty thin. So I'm putting about 4 slices per sandwich. Then I've got some ham here. This is Black Forest. I'm going to put it on the other piece of bread. I'm just taking a couple of pieces and folding it up. And then you just take, if you had cheddar, you could add it, but somehow I'm out of cheddar. That's that for those sandwiches. And then all I'm going to do with these is, got a little tray here, and I'm going to cut these up into little fourths. And then I'm going to set out some mayonnaise and oil and vinegar and stuff like that with it. So if anyone wants to add that, lettuce, tomato, whatever, they can. If you had some cute, fancy toothpicks, you could put them on top of this. I don't generally tend to do that because sometimes people like to just bite right into these bad boys, and I'm not looking to cause anybody dental issues, right? So I'm just going to take these and stack them on top of one another, and they just have little mini sandwiches. And that's that. Easy peasy little sandwiches. Now I'm just going to cover those in some plastic wrap, pop them in the fridge so that when it gets close to time for people to get here, closer to game time, I'll just pull it out and it'll be ready. All right, let's wash our grapes. I'm just going to take our grapes, put them in a big bowl. Add some cold water and a little bit of white vinegar, maybe half a cup. Just enough water to cover them all. You're not going to taste the vinegar once they're cleaned. This is simply cleaning them. But I don't know if you can see that the water is already getting a little bit cloudy and icky as we're rinsing it. So then after I do that, then I take, I just have a little over the sink colander. I actually got this IKEA at IKEA, I believe. Let me make sure. Yes, I'll put a link to that. I probably got it. Honestly, I probably got it on Amazon. I'll go back and look at my order and figure it out. Anyway, so you're just gonna pull your grapes out. Any of them that are not looking their best, just toss them because nobody's gonna eat them anyway. I see a couple of them in there that were bruised, so they are not going to make it to the final process. All right, then I take my grapes off the stems to serve them. So, might as well take them off the stems to rinse them. And that's that. We're just going to take them, rinse them off, give them a good rinse. Get all of that vinegar off of them. And that vinegar helps take all those chemicals off. You could just do this in a colander if you don't have one of these strainers. That's it, and then I just let that set there and drain. Let those eat one. Yeah, they're good. Okay, I just wanted to show you, I just dumped the water out from washing those grapes, and this is why we wash the grapes with vinegar. Look at all that. Excuse the shadows, but yeah, that's some dirt. It's gone now. Just a quick tip after you wash your grapes. I've taken a paper towel. I've let them drain mostly, but there will still be some moisture, so I put a paper towel in the bottom of the bowl where I'm going to serve them, and then I just place my grapes on top of that paper towel, and then that way any leftover water or residue, pick out any that are not beautiful. Any leftover water or moisture from the grapes will drain onto that paper towel, and they won't be sitting in a pile of water. And then I've just picked out a couple that were not lovely. And that's it. They're ready to serve.